What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Hard Time Real Talk followers, and hopefully we can catch some more followers on this video. Push that down. I might have to trim this beard. So what's up? I haven't done, you know what I really haven't done? I've came on here and kind of gave the lowdown on kind of what's going on with everything, but I haven't done really a car story in a while. So I figured it's time to do one. I went on the bounce back last night, and Bobby was like, you should really keep doing those. I think those resonate with people because they're real stories. And I went on another. I really honestly like going on podcasts, and I like telling not just my story, but getting into other stuff that has happened. Whether it's been, to me, something I've done, or something I've witnessed in the joint or in the street, either growing up or, I'm sorry, during my active addiction. I'm hungry, but you gotta eat. So, and I went on this locked out thing with Larry Powell. He was a CO in Nashua Street, but he grew up in Southeast from D Street. So he was always good to us neighborhood kids that grew up in Southie. Or, you know what, I never really seen how he treated other Charlestown guys, but I know he treated me well, because I always was friends with kids from Southie that he knew or grew up with. So I went on the podcast and I listened to it last night, and they were really encouraging and wanted to hear. That was part of their platform, is wanting to hear specific stories, because they want kids. They're trying to keep kids out of prison. That's their aim. You know what I mean? That's what their platform is geared towards. And that's what my whole thing is, right? I want people to hear my shit, know that it's real, because it is real, right? Everybody, I think, kind of knows that by now, right? Even if a story I tell kind of sounds crazy, because some of them people know that they are real, 100% authentic, and they did happen, even like 2-on-1 stories and shit like that. So I've made sure I've told the wins and the losses, told every story, you know what I mean? Because you can't just leave out certain stories because you came out on the losing end of them, because there's really not, there's nothing authentic about that, you know what I mean? Trying to make me look like I was the toughest, and I wasn't. I wanted to be. I thought I was at certain times, and then I got humbled a few times. But I want to tell this story. It was the last time, my last time in the joint. I had to go back to Salt Bay to do a year to finish up my probation, and I'm lucky. That's all I got. I had only had a month or so left on 3 years of probation out of Superior Court, and they gave me a year with 2.5 years suspended for 3 years. So I had 3 more years probation after that, and if I violated it, I had 2.5 years suspended for the year. So my bad, a year to serve. So I had 18 months suspended. My bad. I got 2.5 years, a year to serve, the balance suspended. You forget half the time passes. So I got the year. They asked me beforehand, did I want to go to the House of Correction or back to state prison. They gave me that option. And I chose the House of Correction thinking I could somehow get to CWP and whatever they're doing. I don't know if they still did the Brook House or how they were doing it. I figured I could hit the street quicker. And I knew I still had issues in the state. And that I could have turned that year into a lot more. I figured my chances of getting out were a lot easier. Going to the House of Correction. So I go to the House of Correction. I have a bad Suboxone habit, and I had to do a lot, go through a lot to of going to the hospital and faking seizures and doing all that shit to get Suboxone. And I actually did do it. Somebody told me there was no way I was gonna do it, and I did. I got Mass General to give me my own scripts for Suboxone while I was there. And I was there for like 3 days because they ran all sorts of tests that I saved up like 9 Suboxones and went back to, and they were giving me my neurons. So by the time I went back to Nashua Street, I had a bunch of Suboxone and I was lit. And that one, I was so sick that I went into hypertensive shock and things, I guess. Kicking Suboxone affects other people's bodies differently, you know what I mean? And it affects my body in a different way. But it just really fucked me up. So anyways, after that, I never really went sick for the rest of the bid. So I was just chilling, fucking, you know, football season comes, I'm running the book. Which means I'm the bookie for football season. I would think if you don't know what that means, just ask in the comments. Being a bookie, basically you put out the lines for the football games and people bet, and I'm the one who takes the bets. So, you know, the bookie always wins, which is why any chance I had, I would run a book in any joint I was at, you know, because I like to bet. I actually have a gambling problem. And I definitely had a bad gambling addiction at one point when I got out. When they started the online gambling, it got out of control, and it actually started affecting my relationship to where if I didn't stop, I was gonna get thrown out of my house, and my wife was gonna leave me. That's how bad it got. But in the joint, I was the bookie. So there's not people that bet like that in the House of Correction, but there was still a couple people that bet. And the Spanish kid, he was betting and he wasn't good at it, just like most people aren't, and he owed me a couple dollars. So it was Canteen Day, and it definitely doesn't take much for me to feel disrespected, especially when I had just done almost 11 years in state prison and had to come back to being in a House of Correction, which is a very different environment. And this was a young kid from Chelsea, young Spanish kid. He definitely didn't know how I was, and definitely didn't take this serious that he owed me money. So he owes me a couple dollars, nothing much. He owed me like $5. He only owed me like $5 in Canteen. So Canteen Day comes. Now, some people will come right to your cell and pay you. That's usually what I'll do if I owe somebody. I'll get the canteen. I'll pay them as soon as possible because it's kind of disrespectful not to. You're sitting on it. It kind of shows you don't have respect for the person, depending on how well you know them. If you really don't know the person and you're just sitting there not paying them, the longer time that goes by, it really starts to turn into disrespect. So here we go, lunch goes by, still hasn't paid me. We come out for rec in the afternoon, still hasn't paid me. I'm like, is this fucking kid really? Now my cellmate's like, no, chill, like, don't worry, he'll pay you, I know him. And he knew him somehow. I'm like, yo, I'm telling you, like, I'm not giving this kid much more time. This kid better fucking pay me. Like I'm really starting to feel really fucking disrespected. So, now it's dinner time. We come out for dinner, and I remember, I went, you sit with whoever, if they're 4-man tables, and you sit with the group of however it lines up. It's not like state prison, you sit wherever you want. You sit as you go. So, I ended up sitting with a C-Dub kid Kyle Summers, who I liked. I fucked with Kyle. And I'm like, yo, I'm telling you, I'm gonna crack this fucking kid. Like, I'm not waiting another second to get fucking paid. This kid owes me something measly, $5 fucking bucks. And he's just not fucking paying me. He just thinks I'm a fucking clown. So, I seen him just sitting there, and I'm like, what's up, bro? And he was like, nothing, what's up? So I just got up, right? And he was sitting behind her. They got these big, shaped like square, like diamonds. It kind of would hold right near the showers. So he was like hidden from the cops. And I just walked up, fucking, boom, and fucking bitch smacked him. Fucking slapped him as hard as I could. And his fucking head hit against the, whatever it is, it's hard brick, whatever. And he just sat there and did nothing, right? But the kid he was with a kid who I ended up talking to after. And he stood up, and I'm like, well, what's up? What's up? You want to do something? You gonna fucking stand up and fight for this kid who won't even fight for himself? We can do that. What's up? You don't even know what's going on, but what's up? And he fucking ended up sitting down. So, and I said to the kid, I goes, I'm gonna take all your shit. I seen you get a bag. I'm gonna go in there and take everything tonight. You don't pay me. I'm taking all your shit. I'm taking everything. Right? You fucking punk. You think I'm a fucking punk? I don't know what gave you the fucking idea that I'm some fucking lame that you just ain't gonna pay. But I'm gonna take your whole fucking bag if you don't give me double what you owe me now. Now you owe me 10 fucking bucks. So he's like, yo, it ain't gonna be like that. I'm like, yeah, it does gotta be like that. Fucking wait till fucking dinner time, you still haven't paid me. Like, what you think, bro? What you think this was? So now I got dudes coming up to me like, yo, that was kind of fucked up. And I'm like, no, it wasn't. Like, what the fuck you mean? Like, now I'm the fucking bad guy. Like, yo, like, don't try to explain fucking politics to me. Like, this dude owed me money. It's fucking now 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and the dude ain't paid me. And trust me, like, if he ain't paid me by then, this kid wasn't gonna fucking pay me. This kid better, I want double. Or you know what? I'll settle for 1.5. I'll settle for $7.50. But I'm going to taking that kid's whole shit, right? He just got bitch smacked and did nothing. I don't want to hear nothing. I don't care who he's with. I don't care about none of that. He was with some Chelsea fucking shit. I forget the name of it. But now they're fucking roasting him, and they're amping him up that he got to do something. And they're like, yo, he got to fight you. I'm like, okay, whatever, bro. I don't give a fuck. But somebody's paying me. So they ended up giving me the canteen. But they were like, yo, he's got to fight you. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, whatever. It's whatever. And so he ended up coming in and fucking paying me. And we ended up having to go shoot a fail, which was whatever. And that was that. So these little kids nowadays just don't know how to act, and I realized, like, I can't do time with these kids. I can't. That was the last time, I ever fucking did time, and I ain't ever went back. Thank fucking God. But let me answer the phone. I gotta go. That was another car story. I'll keep bringing you them. We're gonna get this podcast going. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.